Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today's video is going to be about budget EDC fixed blades. I went out and purchased around 16 or so, and then a few got sent into the channel, and today's video is going to be the top 10 affordable EDC fixed blades for anybody's budget out of those ones that I bought. And I promise you, if you're looking for a quality EDC fixed blade that's not going to break the bank, you're definitely in the right place, and I'm going to provide you with a comprehensive overview of each one of these knives. There's something for everyone in this collection. Watch till the end to discover which of these budget-friendly EDC fixed blades will make it to the top of your wish list. So we're getting started with number 10, and that is the Joker TS1. I had a lot of hopes for this one. It's got a very nice leather sheath and button belt loop as well. It holds it in there decent. This one has some nice thick micarta scales, red liners, fills out the hand nicely, and the jimping is outstanding. This thing could have possibly been my number one choice if it would have been a little bit thinner ground and it would have came with a Kydex, even though this is a nice leather sheath. This one comes in at $73. I do think that is a little much. This one's in Bowler N695. It did perform well, but up here by that tip, it gets rather thick. So depending on if you're wanting something that's nice and rugged to where you can do some twisting and turning, this one would be a good choice for that. But as a good everyday slicer, this one might struggle a little bit on some of the thinner tasks. In my experience, N695 holds a decent edge. It's got really good corrosion resistance, and Joker does a fantastic job with their fit and finish. If you see anything that interests you, don't forget to check the links in the description below. They will be affiliate links, so if you want to help support what I do here on this channel, it helps me buy more of these knives and pay for my testing materials. I can't thank you enough. If not, no big deal. Number 9, we have the Ottoza 369 7-inch bushcraft knife. This one would have probably been higher on this list as well if it would have came with a little bit better of a sheath. It's very flimsy, and I wouldn't trust this little belt loop. I gotta admit, as far as performance goes, this one did outstanding, and I didn't expect it to do that well. It's in 1075 at 58 HRC. I believe it. It's kind of thick. It does have a 90-degree spine. It's a very versatile blade shape, and I love the thickness on these scales. These are made of Wurzelite. It's a composite material, got mosaic pins on it. Now this is a 7-inch. The handle, I get about a 3.5 finger grip, but as thick as it is, it fills out the hand nice, and I'm able to get a nice solid grip on it. They do have a 7.5 inch. I will link this one and the 7.5 inch if you are interested in this one, but just know you may have to replace the sheath. I was actually kind of blown away by how well this one performed, especially in the sisal rope. I mean, it was blasting through it. And everything else, it did fairly well. You know, like I said, it does have fairly thick blade stock, but it does have a hollow grind on it, so it still performs pretty darn good. Number 8, the Kizer Mini Harpoon. This one kind of bumps me out because this one could have been number 1 if it wouldn't be for this sheath. It's a leather sheath. I wouldn't mind it except for this button snap right here. Whenever you pull this knife out, you got to be extremely careful that you're not rubbing that edge on that button strap. I don't understand why they didn't go with the Kydex sheath like this micarta version. I've been carrying it in this. And you could possibly cut this completely out and carry it like that. But you got a nice Harpoon blade, full flat ground. And this one's in CPM 3V, and it performed outstanding. This little scoop right here, super comfortable. You're able to get a lot of force into whatever you're cutting, even though you have a fairly small handle. This one has the textured Ultim, so it offers a lot of grip to it. And it's a very light fixed blade. Yeah, and there's no doubt if this one would have came with that same Kydex, this one would have probably made the number 1 spot. You can get all the way down onto that tip to control it if you need to. Even though it's a higher tip, more belly than I usually go for, I can still use the tip because of the size of the fixed blade. It's an easy one to control. You have a lot of piercing power, and overall, it's a good little slicer. Number 7, we have the Casstrom Safari Mini Hunter. This is another one that kind of bumped me out because I absolutely love this knife. It is a little pricey for what it is, though. You get a fold-over taco style Kydex sheath, nice push-off point, and it holds it in there nicely. I love the way the edge sits pretty much below that handle, so in a pinch grip, I can get a lot of that edge down onto what I'm cutting. Easily use the tip, and the handles are nice and comfortable. You do have polished G10 on this one. For this particular version that I have, it's over $100, the one with the Kydex, and my particular one has the 14C 28N steel. You can get one with a leather sheath in 12C 27, which is still a great steal for $92. I still think it's worth it at that price point. However, one thing that I did notice while I was doing the testing the other day is that these scales being polished like this can get a little slick. And if you have gloves on, it kind of wants to slide in the hand. Without gloves, it is a lot more grippy, I find. Still in all, I love the knife. I wish it was a little bit cheaper, even though they did put a lot of effort into this knife. You can even see they have a distal taper, meaning that the tang of the blade gets thinner in the back. That way, it's balanced out a little bit better. It creates a lighter knife as well. So for all the features you get, I don't think it's too out of line. I wish this particular one with the 14C was at 93 bucks, but unfortunately it's not. I will link this one and the cheaper leather version in 12C down in the comments as well. One other thing that I want to mention, if you do get this one with the Kydex sheath, you have to put the knife in at an angle like that to get it in. That's just the way mine's set up. You do have a nice drainage hole at the bottom. They did a lot of thoughtful things on this one. Number 6, we have the Twosun Sixleaf SL32. Comes with a nice Kydex sheath. This belt clip attachment is pretty flimsy, but I would slap an Alti clip on there. Has a very nice solid click to that sheath, no rattle whatsoever. You have comfortable contoured micarta scales that are nice and grippy. They are removable, which is a good thing because this one's in CPM 3V steel. You have a very classic looking shape, almost like a EDC steak knife, if you want to say that. It has like a blasted stone wash finish. And I think this one would have been higher on this list, but it did not come super sharp up here by the belly. They did a good job here, but just not crazy sharp up here in the front. So it suffered whenever I was doing some of the testing. Other than that, I think it's a great find, great bargain. And if you're looking for something nice and lightweight, discreet, I think this would have been a great option. Only thing I really think they missed out on is they should have made this one a fold-over taco style Kydex sheath. They could have kept it very, very minimal, and that would have been a great thing, but unfortunately not. These last 5 are definitely my favorite of the bunch. At number 5, we have the Cudeman Mini Sanabria, and this particular version comes with a leather sheath. And if this one would have came with a Kydex sheath, I think I would have had this one a lot higher as well. You have very comfortable contoured micarta scales that fill out my hand perfectly. My medium-sized hand, I get a nice 4-finger grip on it. You have a big belly drop point here, and another somewhat of a ding on this knife compared to the last 4 that we have on this list. This one is in moly vanadium steel. I don't really know a whole lot about it. It did perform fairly well, so it's not that big of a deal, but I wish they would have used something a little bit better like 14C or 12C. That would have really set this one over the top. I think it's a very attractive looking fixed blade. It's got the jute micarta scales. They're pinned on, and the satin finish is nice. You do have tons of billboarding on it though, so if that's a deal breaker for you, then you might want to think about one of these other options. The sharpening choil on here could have definitely been bigger. You can see that it's already starting to flare out. Not a big deal in my opinion on my fixed blades because that's a very easy fix. But the comfort on this one and performance, I enjoyed it a whole lot. Even though I don't really love the leather sheath, it is a nice quality leather sheath. Number 4 is not one that I would have ever picked up myself. This was sent in by a subscriber. I gotta say, it kind of blew my mind. This is the Watchman W206. This is basically a copy of the discontinued Chris Reeve knives Nala. It is a good bit smaller than the Nala. Comes with a decent Kydex sheath. Nice push off. Nice. Got a little bit of rattle on it. I don't know how old this one is. He said he had used this one. I love this knife. I wish Chris Reeve knives would come back out with this one. It has some nice contouring on these micarta scales with the same exact milling that the Chris Reeve had, which I don't really love. The Insingo blade shape, very versatile blade here. This one is in 14C 28N steel. And being that he sent this one to me, I didn't know how much he had used it before, so I sharpened it up, and I gotta say, these go for $32, and it absolutely blew my mind. It's got a good sharpening choil. Like I said, nice versatile blade. It's not the thinnest because you got a sharp flat grind on this one, but it still performed really nice. I get a nice 4-finger grip, fills out the hand nicely. You got a lanyard hole in the back. The price, the performance, the whole package at 32 bucks, it was hard not to have this one in the top 5. After all the testing I did, it still has a nice decent edge. I could easily strap it back up because it's 14C. 14C 28N sharpens up very easily, and it straps back very easily as well. That's why I love it so much. Not to mention it holds a respectable edge. It's got great corrosion resistance, and it's a tough steel also. Great for a little EDC fixed blade like this. Comes in 2 different colors. I think I saw it in a green as well. They may have others. I didn't really look that hard. Full tank construction. Nice and lightweight. I'm glad he sent this one in because it was a fun one to test. Now, number 3, I almost didn't give it the time of day at all, and I'm glad I did. That is the Kizer Bowtie. This one comes with a fold-over taco style Kydex sheath. That same kind of belt clip attachment. This one has a good bit of spring to it, so It functions nicely. And the reason I almost did not give this one a chance is because it's a skeletonized fixed blade. But boy, was I wrong. This thing blew me away. Okay, so this right here, when you grip it like this, it absolutely locks you in, and being that you have this thick stock, it really fills out the hand nicely. I can only imagine if I were to wrap this portion, which I plan on it after this video. This one has the black traction coating on it. You can see it held up fairly well. I mean, it's just got some polishing on it. D2 steel, and everything I did, it worked great. You know, in this grip, you could break down boxes, do all your in-hand cuts, and then whenever I got to the sisal rope and stuff like that, I was able to grab it in the pinch grip and do my cuts like that. You have a very versatile blade. You have just the right amount of belly to where I can cut on a flat cutting surface easy. And the reason why this one performs so well is because it's got a full flat grind that comes down nice and thin. They did a great job of thinning out that stock, getting it down to a nice reasonable edge, and it came wicked sharp. I like this one so much that I've already ordered the non-coated stonewash version. It's just a fun one, easy to use, and it's just so comfortable for its size. It's a great little quick user, and boy, yeah, that's why I do these videos, so I can find knives like this that just blew me away. If anybody else picked up one of these, let me know your opinions on it, and were you surprised on how well it performed? And number 2 was another knife sent in to the channel. This is another Watchman W205. This one wowed me. So it comes with a Kydex sheath, and this one's supposed to be, I guess, a copy of an Essie Azula. So here's the regular Azula, my Azula 2. I can't get to it now, but you can definitely see the lines there, no doubt. There's 2 huge differences on this one. It's got a full flat grind that comes down nice and thin, and it's in 14C 20-10 steel, and it's only $32. Nice thickness on those gripping micarta scales. Very comfortable. When I cut into the first piece of sisal rope, I was like, wow, this one is a factory edge. He sent this one to me brand new. Unlike this one that he had been using, this one was brand spanking new, came with a phenomenal edge, and performed very well. I can't deny it. It absolutely blew my mind. Now, is it one that I would have picked up myself? No, I've seen these many times before, and I've never picked one up. I'm glad he sent it in. It was a fun one to test, and I understand people can't afford the $100+ knives. I don't know what the stainless Azulas go for, but I know they're more than $32. The one awesome thing about this knife is it could be a great truck knife, a great pack knife. If you want a knife to be able to leave into a EDC bag that you may never use, this is a great option because it's $32. You know, you don't want to have to put an expensive fixed blade into your truck or something like that, and it may never get used. And for somebody starting out, getting into EDC fixed blades, I think this one and its brother there are great options, no doubt. I'm excited to test. I think he sent in 4 or 5 altogether. I'm going to test the other ones. There's, I think, 2 other ones that are copies, and I think there's one that might be an original design. Y'all have to let me know that. And at number 1, it had to be the Remette Knives RT Allosaurus. This one has just got the whole package, in my opinion. You have a large Tech-Lock style belt clip attachment that it comes with. I just left it on for this video. Also comes with a nice size ferro rod. You got something to hold on to. It is plastic right here, and it comes with a striker because this does not have a 90-degree spine. So it's cool that it came with this. If you do use this in its little slot, I would put a piece of shock cord here to here just to make it have a tighter fit. It's got a nice minimal Kydex sheath, fold over, and it's got a little push off point that works nice positive click, no rattle. It comes with some nice textured G10 scales, full tank construction. It is coated because it is in D2 steel. This one is a little larger than I typically EDC. It's coming in at around a little under 8¼ inches long. But if you like a little bit bigger of a fixed blade for your EDC, this is a fantastic option. You got a versatile blade here, D2 steel. Like I said, it is black washed. And I was doing the testing on this one, and after I did the test, I was like, this thing is so stupid sharp. It absolutely blew my mind. And it was nice because I was talking with somebody in the comments of a video, and they were talking about how incredibly sharp their Remette Allosaurus fixed blade was, and we started talking about it. So it's good to know that mine didn't get handpicked or anything. It sliced very well. Being this one has a little bit larger of a blade than the rest of these knives on this list, you could do some light batoning with this one, some small kindling or something. The handle, I get a nice 4-finger grip on it. If you had large, extra large hands, then you might get like a 3.5-finger grip on it. I do wish the handle was a little bit longer, or I wish they would have brought it all the way to the back right here and popped the hole into the scales. The only thing I don't like on this is this little kick up right here, because my fingers barely fit underneath there. Now, I didn't notice it until I started doing some bear down cuts. I could start to feel that because my pinky was landing on top of it. I definitely think they should get rid of that altogether. Bring the scale all the way back here, straight back. That would have been fantastic. I do wish the jimping was a little bit sharper here, and I wish they would have brought some out to about right here as well. It did come with a perfectly executed sharpening choil. You should have a good bit of sharpening light before it'll widen up at the heel right here. All in all, it's a really nice fixed blade. These go for 50 bucks. I think it's well worth that, no doubt. Bolt-on construction, so if you did get it wet underneath these scales, you could take these off and dry it out so you don't get any corrosion underneath those scales. Definitely a standout from the rest, but to be honest, any of the knives in this list, if nothing I talked about was deal breakers for you, then I could recommend every single one of these because they all did great. I was just wanting to show y'all my favorites of the group. Here's another shot of them all, and the ones that surprised me the most when it came to performance would have to be the Ottoza. I already figured the Kizer Harpoon would do well. It's in 3V steel. The Kizer Bowtie absolutely blew me away, and of course, being that these are $32, they blew my mind as well. And the sharpness factor and the performance of the Remette Allosaurus absolutely blew me away. So if you're looking for nice, well-rounded EDC fixed blades that are nice and versatile, they're going to excel in everyday carry, outdoor situations, and they're all a great value, then these are all standout options at this price point. If you're in the market for a reliable, affordable EDC fixed blade, I highly recommend checking these out. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to slap a like on it so I know to do more videos like this. And if you like knife and gear videos and you're not already, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you. Do any of y'all own any of these? If so, let me know your thoughts on them down in the comments. Let me know which one of these is your favorite. And if you want more content like this, I have plenty other budget EDC fixed blade videos you can check out. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave those down below. I hope every one of y'all is having an absolute amazing day. Until next time, remember guys, keep those blades sharp, smile more. Peace.